This is my pride and joy. I love this tank, and I think it's pretty unique. Um, I did a lot of research before setting this up, and I really couldn't find anything like it. So I have to say this was a an experiment, both with the stocking and the setup. Um, I mean, there's certainly lots of Tanganyikan tanks out there, but not a lot of them that are this size, and also just the stocking, the number of fish in here. Um, I understand people wanting to be careful with overstocking a tank, but there's also fish that do better when they're overstocked, and most of the Tanganyikan's tanks, especially the big ones that I saw, and even like I have my other 6 foot one, they're kind of careful with the number of fish that they put in there. So I kind of took a risk, and I put a lot of different fish in here. And I was curious if the aggression was going to be too much. But really, honestly, I have not had any issues. They chase each other. I mean, look at that foyer right there. He's protecting his little sand pit there. He's not fully grown yet, but he is getting close to being ready to show his stuff. Man, is he starting to look pretty. Yeah, he's gorgeous. Oh man, I can't wait for him to get fully colored up, but he's almost there. Um, but anyway, so as far as the stocking for this goes, I mean, there are a lot of different fish in here. And I put a lot of rocks and tried to give them as much many places to hide as I could. But what's cool is that there is breeding that happens in here, and yeah, it's mostly the daffodils, which anybody who's ever kept those, like, very very pretty fish, but they'll breed in anything, and they will successfully keep fish alive anywhere. Um, but honestly, one of the reasons why this tank had to be so overstocked was because those guys will just breed out of control. I mean, you put them in any tank and they will just never stop. And then what do you do with all those fish? Um, but there's breeding in here. I mean, there are babies that were born in this tank and are still in here. There's some of them that were born before I put them in here. I had them in a previous tank. So like the Julia de Chromis Regani, they bred in another tank, and it was a community tank also, and the fish survived. But like that's one of their babies right there. The Leilupi, you'll see small Leilupi swimming around here. Um, it's kind of funny, like this isn't even the extent of all the fish in here. There's more that are hiding right now. They hide in the rocks, but sometimes, especially when they know they're gonna get fed, they all come out. When you see the number of Tanganyikan fish in here, it is just so incredible and awe-inspiring just to like watch them all come out. And but there's some baby Leilupis in here. They breed. I've never had their babies survive in this tank. They like to. This is their little cave. Of course, because I'm here. Oh, actually, she's down there. Look at that. So she likes to lay eggs, and I literally stick a little suction bulb tube in there, and I'll suck out the babies, and I'll put them in another tank and let them grow out. I have another grow out tank for the Leilupi, so, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with them. I don't know if anybody will buy them, but I'll probably just, and I only get a handful of them doing that method, but um, I'll probably just put them right back in here. Um, but yeah, there's some cool. Now I'm gonna forget some of the names. There's some Synodontis catfish that generally only come out at night. So it's almost like the time of the day. Depends on what you see. in this tank. And there's obviously the foyer, um, and let's see, these are called Chalenochromis, and there's some Cyprochromis, Leptosoma jumbos, and some Autolamprologus preciceps, the gold heads. A few of those are actually wild caught. Some of them I got in 2 different places. Lots of daffodils. Juliachromis wagani. There are 2. There's a male and a female. These are wild caught Tanganyikan gobies. And that's the male. The female usually hides back there, but I don't see her right now. But there is so fun to watch. They like jump up and down on their bellies across the rocks, and they're kind of pigs. Like they will just zip around and eat everything. I think they're probably what controls the daffodil population. Although they mostly are supposed to eat algae and things. I worry a little bit about their diet, whether or not they do okay in here, but you've been in here for a while and they're very active and seem to be pretty happy. They're all acting different with this camera. I feel like they're a little skittish right now. Usually they're all out and all over the place, but I don't know if there's any fish that I forgot to. Obviously lily loopy. Oh, there's some shell dwellers. There's some multis back there. Just kind of have that corner as their own. So, and this is just the Lake Malawi sand. My soft water, the sand really helps to keep this tank very stable. A large volume of water too. Now there's a black ocelotus there. I had a small group of them, and they were just pretty aggressive, so they didn't really survive, and I have one left, and I put him in here, and he actually seems pretty happy. So you have as many Tanganyikan tanks as I do. If you have issues like that, you got the 210 gallon to put them in there and see how they do. But also, if you notice, there's nothing in this tank as far as hardware. There's one wave maker over there, but and I kind of like looking at this tank from this angle, even though there's a glare. I'll stand here at the end so you can see all the glare from everything behind me. But these are just black PVC pipes, and they hook up to my 2 Owazi 650 canister filters with the built-in heaters. So it really is just incredible because you just don't have anything to look at in here but fish and rocks, and see their behaviors and the way they interact with each other, and it's so fun. And there's a air stone in the corner that I have just for safety in case the power goes out. I hate to think about how quickly these fish would run out of oxygen in a power outage. I don't know how long they'd last. It's just too many of them. Breathing and breathing. So, but yeah, all of these rocks came from local river. So, and then the light on it is just you see my bulb suction that I used to pull out the babies. Just an aqua neat, super cheap. There's some pothos up there. I tried bright lighting on here, and I tried some fancier lights, and I don't know. Honestly, I think this is even too bright. It could definitely be a little more subdued, but I think it looks awesome. This is just one that I sit here and watch constantly. And this is a stack. This sits on top of another tank. There's a tank below it, 180 gallons. This stand, and I've shown that tank before. I mean, this stand is super heavy duty. And it is holding a lot of weight. Ton of weight. So, but yeah, that is 210 gallon Aquarium community Tanganyikan tank. It's probably not a lot of people that would dedicate this much space to these fish. So when I find out what's wrong with me, I'll let you know. One really unfortunate thing is that I bought those foyer as babies. I mean, they were small babies, and I'm pretty sure there's only 4 of them. The other 3 are over here, and I'm pretty sure my ratio is horrible. It might be 3 males and 1 female, which is probably the last thing you want. It might be 2 and 2. Sometimes I can't tell if this is just because it looks almost male, has some male characteristics, but it hasn't colored up. But that may be because he's subdominant. There's one that I'm pretty darn sure is because that male back there is also spectacular. Sometimes these guys can't decide who's in charge. I think that one's actually bigger right there. But anyway, really looking forward to them coloring up, and I may have to either move them around. They might do better in a more open setting. I originally did not have as many rocks in here, and I thought that they would form pits on the open space, but they just didn't. They only made 1 pit. So I decided, you know what? We got all these rock dwellers. Might as well use up that space and throw some more rocks in there. So anyway, I could talk about this one all day, but it is so fun to sit and watch. So much activity, so much subtle beauty. So if you're thinking of doing a 6-foot community Tanganyikan tank, I would highly recommend it. And I would probably go with the overstocked method. I haven't had any deaths or any issues, except for maybe babies getting eaten, but that's pretty common. So hope you enjoyed.